was on my lunch break when I saw the police cars pull up outside my house, 2 of them. Lights flashing, engines humming low. At first, I thought there must have been some mistake, mix-up, maybe a neighbor's call gone wrong. Then I saw my sister standing behind one of the officers, her face twisted in rage. That's when my stomach dropped. "Emma Lawson?" one officer asked. I nodded, clutching the dish towel in my hand. "You're being accused of child abduction." He said carefully. Behind him, my sister, the woman who hadn't called me in 10 years, started screaming. "She stole them. She stole my kids. I left them for a week, and she never gave them back." For a moment, I couldn't breathe. Those kids she was talking about, the ones I've been feeding, raising, loving for a decade, they were standing right behind me on the porch, terrified. My oldest gripping my arm, the youngest hiding. They had my legs. I'm Emma, 28 now. But this story started 10 years ago when I was just 18, still working at a daycare. Living at home and dreaming of becoming a teacher. My sister Sabrina was 23 then. Beautiful, reckless, and endlessly selfish. She had 4 kids by 3 different men, and not one of those men stuck around long enough to learn their birthdays. Sabrina always had a flair for drama. One month she'd be posing with luxury handbags and expensive wine bottles on Instagram. The next, she'd be sleeping in her car behind a casino, posting cryptic quotes about fresh starts. Our parents had given up trying to reason with her, but I never could. Because I loved those kids. All of them thought it was a Tuesday. Night when my life changed. I was up late studying for my early childhood certification when I heard banging on the front door. Not a knock, banging. When I opened it, there was Sabrina, mascara smeared, shaking, smelling like alcohol and cigarettes. "Em, I need you," she said. Her voice cracked. 4 little faces peeked out from behind her, all crying, all exhausted. "I just need a few days," she said, eyes darting away. "I'm getting help this time, for real. I can't do it with them right now. Please, just a few days." Mom appeared in her robe, already shaking her head. "Not again, Sabrina." "We can't," but I cut her off. "It's fine, I'll take them." Sabrina handed me the baby without looking at him. "You're a lifesaver," she mumbled. Then she turned, got into her boyfriend's car, and drove off. That was the last time we saw her. 3 days later, I found a note crumpled on the kitchen counter, starting over in Arizona. "Don't try to find me." Given the life I couldn't. I sat there for hours staring at it, the baby asleep on my chest, the others watching cartoons on the floor, their faces sticky from breakfast. I didn't cry that day. I just knew somehow that everything had changed forever. The first challenge was paperwork. When I tried to register the oldest, Noah, for preschool, the office clerk frowned. "I'm sorry, miss, but we can't enroll him without a birth certificate or immunization record." I didn't have either. Sabrina had never kept anything organized. No hospital files, no IDs, nothing. It took months, phone calls, social workers, even DNA tests just to prove the kids existed. Then came the money. Daycare, food, clothes, everything added up. I worked double shifts at the daycare, cleaning offices at night, doing anything to keep us afloat. There were moments when I thought I'd break, like the day the youngest, Lily, got pneumonia, and I had to choose between paying rent or buying her medicine. I chose the medicine. We lived off ramen noodles for 2 weeks. Still, somehow we made it. 2 years passed. Sabrina was just a ghost story we told ourselves. Mommy's away for a while. Then one afternoon, a man showed up at my door. He smelled like beer and anger. "I'm here for my son," he slurred. "Where's Noah?" He pushed past me before I could answer. The kids started crying. "You can't just show up like this," I said, blocking the hallway. He glared at me. "He's my blood. You got no right keeping him. When's the last time you even called him? Or paid a dime of support?" I snapped. He stormed out, but before leaving, he pointed at me and said, "You'll regret this." "I'll get the law on my side." He never did. But it left me shaken for weeks, because technically he was right. I wasn't legally their mother. Just the girl who refused to give up on them. My parents weren't much help either. They loved the kids, sure, in the distant, polite way grandparents do when they can hand the children back at the end of the day. But when I asked for help paying for preschool or a new bunk bed, Dad sighed. "You chose this, Emma," he said. "You could have put them in foster care." I remember laughing bitterly. "Would you?" I asked. He didn't answer, so I kept going year after year, birthdays, report cards, scraped knees, Christmas mornings. And somewhere along the way, those 4 kids stopped being Sabrina's. They became mine. Fast forward 10 years. I'd built a stable life, finally finished my teaching degree, got a steady job, and even bought a small house with a backyard. The kids were thriving. Then Sabrina reappeared. Out of nowhere, she called first, her voice shaky but familiar. "And it's me. I'm sober now. I've been through treatment. I want to make things right." I didn't know how to respond. Part of me wanted to scream. The other part wanted to believe her. For months, she'd come around occasionally. Short visits, awkward dinners. The kids didn't remember her well, and she didn't seem to know how to be around them anymore. Then she started pushing. "They need their mother, Emma. You've done great, but it's time they come home." "Home?" I asked. "This is their home." That's when she snapped. "You think you're better than me? You think you can just steal my life?" I hung up. The next week, the police came. "You didn't kidnap them," my mom whispered over the phone that night, her voice thick with emotion. "You raised them when no one else would." Her words were a comfort, but the damage was already done. Our quiet life was shattered by court papers, custody hearings, and the relentless ring of reporters digging for a story. Sabrina's lawyer, a stern man in a crisp suit, stood in the courtroom and claimed I had unlawfully retained the children. For financial gain. I almost laughed through the tears. Financial gain? I'd spent every last cent of my paychecks from double shifts and night jobs just to keep food on the table and a roof over our heads. The only profit I'd ever known was the joy in their laughter. I didn't fight back with anger. I fought with proof. I presented the judge with a decade of our life together, photo albums filled with birthday parties and school events, stacks of report cards I had signed, and medical records from every doctor's visit I'd attended. It was a silent, powerful testament to 10 years of being their true parent. The judge, a woman with perceptive eyes, looked from Sabrina beautiful and dramatic to me, weary but steady. Then her gaze fell on the children. They were clinging to me, not her. It was Leo, the youngest, who sealed everything with a quiet, desperate whisper that echoed in the hushed room. "Can we go home now, Mom?" That word, Mom, shattered the last of my composure. It also broke Sabrina. Before the judge could even announce her decision, my sister stood up and stormed out of the courtroom, leaving as dramatically as she had arrived. The judge granted me full guardianship. It wasn't quite adoption, but it was safety. It was home. Standing on the courthouse steps, the kids holding my hands and the sun warm on our faces, I finally exhaled. After a decade of holding my breath, waiting for this moment to fall apart, we were finally truly safe. I learned that family isn't always about blood. It's about who stays. It's about who shows up day after day and never leaves. So now, when people ask if I kidnap them, I just smile softly and say, no, I rescued them. And I'd do it all over again in a heartbeat.